यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय राधा बैरिनीश्वर राधा बैरिनीश्वर राधे Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prabhupada Stottra Sada. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON BBT Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prabhupada Stottra Sada. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki. Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki. Madhura Vrindavan Dham Ki. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki. Gangamai Jamunamai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki. Samaved Bhaktivinoda Ki. Haridam Sankirtan Ki. Haridam Sankirtan Mahayajna Ki. Thai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories and glories and glories. And assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gurudev. Thai Gaur Premanandi. Is there echo which is coming or feedback? Prabhu, can you reduce the volume a little bit? Hare Krishna. No, to you, Prabhu. I told him. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Prabhu. Is it okay? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangum Lengayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bandin Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So once again welcoming all the devotees to Srimad Bhagavatam class. So specifically I want to thank the temple management for giving this opportunity for discussing on Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, chapter 2, text 20. Vijñāya Shabham Girisanunagraknir Vijñāya Shabham Girishanugagranir Nandishvaro Roshakashaya Dushita Nandishvaro Roshakashaya Dushita Dikshaya Shabam Visasarja Darunam Dikshaya Shabam Visasarja Darunam Yechvan Vamodam Stadavachyatam Dvijaha Yechan Vamodam Stadavachyatam Dvijaha Vijñāya Shabham Girishanugagranir Nandishvaro Roshakashaya Dushita Dikshaya Shabam Visasarja Darunam Yechan Vamodam Stadavachyatam Dvijaha Vijñāya Shabham Girishanugagranir Nandishvaro Roshakashaya Dushita Dikshaya Shabam Visasarja Darunam Chan Vamodam Stadavachyatam Dvijaha Vijñāya Shabam Girishanugagranir Nandishvaro Roshakashaya Dushita Dikshaya Shabam Visasarja Darunam Yechan Vamodam Stadavachyatam Dvijaha Vijñāya Shabham Girishanugagranir Nandishvaro Roshakashaya Dushita Dikshaya Shabham Visasarja Darunam Yechan Vamodam Stadavachyatam Dvijaha Vijñāya Shabham Girishanugagranir Nandishvaro Roshakashaya Dushita Dikshaya Shabham Visasarja Darunam Yechan Vamodam Stadavachyatam Dvijaha. Word to word translation. Vijñāya, understanding. Shapam, the curse. Girisha, of Shiva. Anuga Agrinihi, one of the principal associates. Nandishvara, Rosha, anger. Kashaya, red. Dushitaha, blinded. Dikshaya, to Diksha. Shapam, a curse. Visasarja, gave. Darunam, harsh. Ye, who. Cha, and. Anvamodan, tolerated. Tad avachyatam, the cursing of Shiva. Dvijaha, Brahmanas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Upon understanding that Lord Shiva had been cursed, Nandishvara, one of the lords, Upon understanding that Lord Shiva had been cursed, Nandishvara, one of the Lord Shiva's principal associates, became greatly angry. His eyes became red, and he prepared to curse Daksha and all the Brahmanas present there who had tolerated Daksha's cursing Shiva in harsh words. Purport. There is a long-standing dissension among some of the neophyte Vaishnavas and Shaivites. They are always at loggerheads. When Daksha cursed Lord Shiva in harsh words, some of the Brahmanas present might have enjoyed it, because some Brahmanas do not very much admire Lord Shiva. This is due to their ignorance of Lord Shiva's position. Nandishvara was affected by the cursing, but he did not follow the example of Lord Shiva, who was also present there. Although Lord Shiva could also have cursed in a similar way, he was silent and tolerant. But Nandishvara, his follower, was not tolerant. Of course, as a follower, it was right for him not to tolerate an insult to his master. But he should also not have cursed the Brahmanas who were present. The entire issue was so complicated that those who were not strong enough to forget their positions, and thus cursing and counter-cursing, went on in that great assembly. In other words, the material field is so unsteady that even personalities like Nandishvara, Daksha, and many of the Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutali Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the topic and this verse which I am going to discuss is Vijnaya Shapam Girishanu Nagrinir Nandishvaro Rosha Kashaya Dushita Dakshaya Shapam Visasarja Darunam Echanva Modam Stadavachidam Duchaha. So this usually it is nice to understand what chandas each sloka belongs to. This is called Indra Vajra. So translation goes like this. Upon understanding that Lord Shiva has been cursed, Nandishvara, one of Lord's principal associates, became very angry. His eyes became red, and he prepared to curse Daksha and all the Brahmanas present there who had tolerated Daksha during cursing Shiva in harsh words. So we all know what topic we are discussing right now in this chapter. The Yajna, Daksha Yajna, and then Daksha has pronounced the curse on Lord Shiva. And then Nandishvara, who is the personal associate, the best personal associate of Lord Shiva, he becomes angry. And he become angry and is ready to curse. He is going to pronounce his curse. And he is not only going to curse Daksha, but he is also going to curse the Brahmanas who are present there. Why? Because the Brahmanas tolerated the Daksha's curse. So if you look at Srimad Bhagavatam, why is that the Brahmanas at fault here? Is there any reason why the Brahmanas are at fault? Because Shiva is the best of the Vaishnavas. And if somebody is offending a Vaishnava, what should the Brahmanas do? Leave the places for Shudras. Okay, basically Shudras they can't convince. So they'll have to leave the place. Kshatriyas, they can come and cut the tongue, okay, because Kshatriya spirit. Brahmanas, what should they do? Sorry, Vaishya should leave the place. Right? Shudra should commit suicide. Brahmana should convince the person that whatever you're doing is not right, because they have the knowledge of scriptures. And then let us understand this fact is, who is Nandi? Any idea who is Nandi? So, if you look at Brahmavaivarta Purana, there is a statement, there is a story in which Krishna manifests so many. First, he manifests Radharani from his left side, and then so many gopis comes out, so many gopas comes out of Krishna, and then unlimited Surabhi cow starts coming out from Krishna, and then so many bulls also start coming out from Krishna. So who is the father of all the Surabhi cows? It is Krishna. So when one of the bull, which has got some strength of some 10,000 elephants, this is an amsha of Krishna. This is gifted to Lord Shiva. So again there is another story wherein Krishna tells Radharani, again in Brahmavaivarta Purana, he says that during the time of Tripura Dehana, you know the pastime of Lord Shiva, trying to annihilate, fight against the demons. Unfortunately, Shiva is not able to destroy these demons. Lord Shiva fought for 1 year completely. Initially, Lord Shiva was thinking it is going to be a child's play. Killing demons for Lord Shiva is very, very simple, right? Because when he decides to annihilate the universe, what does Lord Shiva do? Does he take a weapon? No. He simply dances. Amazing, right? By dancing you can annihilate the universe. So Lord Shiva is so powerful. So he was thinking it's a matter of it's very simple for me to going to destroy this demon. But after fighting 1 year, Lord Shiva could not defeat them. So again, Lord Shiva pounded upon these demons and started fighting for 1 month. And the demon, what they did, they destroyed Lord's chariot. And Lord Shiva then understood there is something wrong now. So he earnestly started praying to Lord Krishna. And Krishna, after hearing the words of Lord Shiva, immediately came in the form of Nandi Bull. So Nandi Bull is actually an amsha of Lord Krishna. And then he says to Radharani that no one is dear to me as Lord Shiva. Tadoham vrisharupena vahami tena tam priyam mama priyadamo nastri trailokeshu shivatparaha. Mama priyatamo nasti. There is nobody who is whom I like dear to me like Lord Shiva. So this shows that the connection between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna. So if you have this understanding that Lord Shiva is the dearmost servant or dearmost person which Krishna likes, then what Diksha did was a big offense. When you look at the purport, there are so many things Prabhupada trying to mention here. The dissension of neophyte Vaishnavas and Shaivite, and some of the Brahmanas, they didn't admire Lord Shiva. Nandishwara was not tolerant, and it was his right that when his master is humiliated, who should take revenge? Servant. You remember the story of Jiva Goswami, right? When Rupa Goswami was asked this question that, Bhakti and Mukti are like witches. Who was that? Vallabhacharya, right? So Vallabh Bhatta, sorry, not Vallabhacharya, Vallabh Bhatta. And then Jiva Goswami couldn't accept it. Rupa Goswami accepted. And it is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada during that incident that it was right that Jiva Goswami did that. He went and challenged him. He said, how can you say that? That Rupa Goswami made a mistake. He said the desire for bhakti and mukti is pishachi. He didn't say bhakti and mukti as pishachi. The desire for bhakti and mukti. So it's right. So as Nandishwara, he didn't tolerate it, it is fine. But then, when the atmosphere is contaminated by anger, we have been listening to so many Varishta Vaishnavas talking about anger. atmosphere get contaminated. When offense is done in one place, why suppose devotees are asked to leave that place? Because the atmosphere gets contaminated. They either get affected. So when you stay in that place, not responding, we also get affected. So actually I know it is very difficult for devotees, after the long, starting from Mangalarati to this time sitting in the place. So thank you so much that you're listening patiently. So there are instances in which devotees, whenever they had usual troubles in their life, everything is forgotten the moment they see the deities in the morning, early morning. So Mangalarati time, when the devotees come and see the deities, all their problems are solved. Srila Prabhupada disciple used to say that. We may have so many issues, we didn't have enough to survive. They have so many problems in their life, but the moment they come and stand before the Lord during the Mangalarati time, they say every problem vanish. So starting from Mangalarati, which makes our life Mangala, it is so glorious that devotees are able to come early and then attend this. And then it's mentioned material field is so steady, unsteady. Many of the Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. So we will try to see which all portions that we can go through. We belong to Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. And if you look at Madhava Sampradaya, there is something very special. Madhava Sampradaya devotees have one pointed attention on Krishna, nobody else. Okay? So there is an allegation on this Madhava Sampradaya devotees, especially in Maharashtra, because on the day of Mahashivaratri, what this Madhava devotees, they do, instead of fasting, they cook Puran Boli. You know what is Puran Boli, right? So Puran Boli, and they will offer it to the Lord and they accept it. So people who are like Shaivites, they will complain. They will say that, why are you showing this kind of a disrespect to Lord Shiva? Okay, so what Madhva Sampradaya devotees, they say is that we have one pointed attention on Krishna. When the devotees of Lord Shiva, they don't follow the fasting of Ekadashi, which is very important. They don't say anything. Similarly, when there is Mahashivaratri, which is one of the very, very special day, in which Lord Shiva, there are two stories. They say Lord Shiva manifested as Shivalinga, and there is also another story they say that it's a marriage of Lord Shiva. And if you look at the instructions of Sanatana Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilasa, there is one place where he has mentioned it is an optional for devotees of Krishna to take Mahavashivaratri Vrata for pleasing Lord Krishna. This is what it is said. It is optional. So sometimes some of the devotees they take, but their intention is to please Lord Krishna. So we, as a part of this Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, we also have this one pointed devotion towards Krishna. But we have a small difference, right? We are not very strict like the Madhva devotees. Why is that we are not very strict like the Madhva devotees? Anybody remembers the second Nama Aparadha? Yeah. We should not consider demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the names of Lord Krishna. So what does it mean by equal to Krishna? Is Lord Shiva equal to Krishna? If we think that Lord Shiva is equal to Krishna, that is an aparadha, Nama Aparadha. right? What if we see that Lord Shiva is independent of Krishna? So if Lord Shiva is independent of Krishna, can we disrespect him? Right? Lord Shiva is also dependent on Krishna. So can we disrespect Lord Shiva? If we disrespect Lord Shiva, then it becomes the second Nama Aparadha. So what should you do? So what can we do in this such instances? And Jiva Goswami Prabhupada has given the solution. He says that you have seen so many different avatars of Lord Krishna, like Malsya, Kurma, Varaha. Like that, Krishna takes the form of Guna Avatara, which is Lord Shiva. Okay? So Vaishnavas can understand that Lord Shiva is the Guna Avatar of Lord Krishna. So in that way, you respect Lord Shiva, and then you escape from this second offense of considering equal to and independent of Lord Krishna. And if you look at in South India, there were so many pastimes, so many instances in which Vaishnavas were disrespected on the name of Lord Shiva. Typically, a real Vaishnava will always see Lord Shiva as the best of Vaishnavas. Whenever they see Lord Shiva, they understand, oh, he is one of the best Vaishnavas. And those who are real devotees of Lord Shiva, when they see Lord Shiva, when they see Lord Vishnu, they understand he is the original source of everything. But there are some instances in which during the time of Sripad Ramanujacharya itself, Ramanujacharya was, his disciples were preaching day and night. Probably 1,000 disciples were sitting in one place and they were preaching day and night. And his fame spread so much that there was a king, his name was King Kulatunga. It's Kulatunga? Kulatunga. Chola king. He's somebody says Kulatunga 1, someone it says Kulatunga 2. So I don't know whether it's 1 or 2. So he was thinking, he was so much ardent follower of Lord Shiva, and he's saying that everywhere the devotees of Shiva Vaishnavism, they're spreading Vishnu everywhere. And he didn't want this to happen. He wanted to stop this. He wanted to have Lord Shiva to be accepted as supreme. So he consulted his ministers, and one of the ministers has advised him, who was actually part of, I think, Shaila Purna's disciple, some connection was there. He advised him the only way you can come back and restore the pride of the followers of Lord Shiva is by defeating Sripad Ramanuja. So immediately a message. So that point of time, Ramanuja was staying in Sri Rangam. A letter was sent that Sripad Ramanuja should come to the king's palace. So understanding the intentions of Ramanuja was thinking, he was thinking that okay, let us go and meet the king. But his disciple, Kuresha, he said, no, my dear master, Guru, you should not go. He wanted to kill you. The intention is to kill you. So he said, instead I will go to the palace. So he decides to take Ramanujacharya's dress, and Ramanujacharya takes his dress and they switch dress and they go. And when they reach there, this king is also, incidentally, there is a relation between the king and Ramanuja. King's sister was actually possessed with a ghost, and it was during when the king was around 7 years old. Ramanujacharya went and cured that princess. So he was little respectful initially, but he said, I'm thanks that you have come to this place. We need to debate. There are so many panditas here. They want to debate, and they started debating. And Kuresha, he defeated everyone, talking about the scriptures. Finally, he became very angry. The king became very angry. He said, he wrote a letter mentioning that you should accept this, you sign on this. He wrote, Shivat Paradaram Nasti. You should accept, you should sign that. Yes, I accept. So when it was given to Kuresha, he said, Drona masti tataparami, because Shiva and Drona was two kind of measurements which was used, and Drona was higher in terms of measurement. So the king decided to take away both the eyes of Kuresha. And there was one more devotee, was Periyanambigal, I think, who was with Atule's father. Who is it? Was it Shailapurna? Huh? Periyanambigal. What's his name? It was Goshtipur? No, it was not Goshtipurna. Okay, Atule's father. So he was also with them, and both of them were actually, their eyes were taken out. And finally they were decided that they can live. So Mahapurna, it was Mahapurna. So thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So it was Mahapurna, and Mahapurna was little old. They decided they will go back to Sri Ranga. But on the way, Mahapurna decided that he can't reach Sri Ranga. He should leave his body. So Kuresha was asking him, why should you leave the body here? Like, you should be leaving your body in Sri Ranga. Please wait a little more time. He said, it's okay. Wherever I live, the Lord, one who has done prabhati to the Lord, it is fine. The Lord will take care. So he leaves that body, he leaves his body, and then Kuresha goes back. But over a period of time, what happens to that king? He passed away because of a deadly disease, which is called, that's why his name, instead of Kulatunga, he was known as Krimikanda. So he got a deadly disease and then he passed away. So I just want to ask one question here. Why is that not coming? Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay. What is a general understanding? Why should we read scriptures? Specifically Srimad Bhagavatam, why should we understand and hear? Pardon? Okay, very good. What else could be the reason? Understand the glories of Krishna, understand the glories of the devotees. Yes, very good. But there is one more thing which we should, when we read scriptures, there is one more important way in which you should understand the scriptures. I will come back to this slide later. Srimad Bhagavatam can be seen both as a window and as a mirror. What do you mean by window? Do we understand what the spiritual world is? We don't understand. Okay. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives us an understanding about what devotees are. What is devotional service? Who is Krishna? What are the pastimes which Krishna is doing? So it is depending on the realization of a devotee, it acts as a window and it acts as a mirror. So how is it a window? Srila Prabhupada says, we cannot imagine the spiritual world, we have to hear about it from authorized scriptures. And thus we have to see through the eyes of Shastra. Okay? So in the beginning stages of bhakti, Srimad Bhagavatam gives us a window. What is devotional service? How devotees behave? What are the qualifications of devotee? In the spiritual world, what is happening? Who is Swayam Bhagavan? What is this Leela which is happening? All these things we get an understanding from Srimad Bhagavatam as a window. But over a period of time, we should also see Srimad Bhagavatam as a mirror. What do you mean by mirror? Yeah, reflection. You can see yourself in the mirror. Through Srimad Bhagavatam, you can also see your reflection. How is that? When we advance in devotional service, we also will get realization looking at Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we look at Srimad Bhagavatam, some of the characters, when we read, we understand that, oh, this is a reflection of mine. Atma Darshana. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur also emphasizes that. Shastras reflect the state of soul and help the sadhaka see where they stand in the relationship with Krishna. So in Tattva Viveka, he says, just as a mirror reflects one's appearance, the revealed scriptures reflect the condition of the jiva and reveal his path to liberation. We apply scriptures. We apply these things in our life. We should understand one more thing. So in this chapter, what could be our learning till now? You know this chapter, what has happened? Daksha has cursed. Now, should we look at this pastime as a window or should we look at this pastime as a mirror? Right now it is mirror, right? Because now something is happening which is really difficult to understand. There are instances, if you look at in Srimad Bhagavatam, sometimes you see the father getting angry on the child. And the child is being ordered to, he is ordering the child to be killed. So when these kinds of instances happen, you should be really thinking, why is that? Where is it? And now, if you look at this pastime, Lord Shiva and Daksha, they're related. Very much related, right? Sati was the Atmaja of Daksha. And suppose, I don't know, many of you are not grown enough, but at least some of you can relate. Your daughter is married to somebody. How do you treat your son-in-law? Whatever things you do, okay. You can also imagine. Some devotees like Mangalraj Prabhu can and feel that, right? You never show your anger towards them, right? Even if they are disrespectful, because you're given the status. What status you give? Like a daughter, right? Same status of a daughter is given to the son-in-law, or probably better, because the son-in-law is taking care of your daughter for the rest of your life. You hand it over to her to the son-in-law. So what is the learning, what is the realization you get from this pastime? Anyone? I don't have time, otherwise I would have given you task to fill this. You can go to this and you can answer it, and then we can get all the answers. Oh, somebody has mentioned amazing, incredible. Who is that? Okay. Anybody? Okay, spiritual advancement defines the relationship. Yes, absolutely right. Anything else? From the point of Daksha, if you look at him, what should we learn? Because Srimad Bhagavatam gives us information about what we should do and what we should not do. Okay, it teaches us in both ways. What we should do or what we should follow and what we should not follow. Daksha, he was proud. He was actually even higher than the demigods. Okay, why? Because he was the Prajapati. And since he was the Prajapati, he is even considered higher than Indra. So he is considered the best, he is higher than all the Devatas together, Devi Devatas. But he forgot the position of Lord Shiva. Who is Lord Shiva? He is Amsha, or his expansion of Krishna. He forgot that. So he was thinking that he should be respected. As a sadhaka, when you take initiation in this moment, and then suppose you think that today you are taking initiation, okay? And over a period of time, another 10 years down the line, another 20 years down the line, you will become seniors in this moment, right? And that point of time, what happens? How should you behave? There might be some devotees who might be, you don't know the level of advancement. You can't judge. For example, there might be, it so happens that in this moment, There might be coming and continuing the devotional service since past Janma, probably these kids. They might look junior to us, but they are continuing the devotional service from their past life. So in that way, and if we started our devotional life in this Janma, they are seniors to us, right? So one thing is that as a Daksha who is controlling the universe, you should not demand respect. Do you think this is something which we can understand? Definitely, as a senior devotee, all the devotees should give respect to such devotees. But what Daksha did was that he demanded respect, right? And when he demanded respect and he didn't get that respect, what happened? He became angry. So all these devotees who are now junior devotees, they are all wonderful devotees. Actually, one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, he used to say, the ISKCON movement is running because of the new bhaktas. He says, our movement is expanding is because of new bhaktas. You know why? Because they do the best of the services. They come very early in the morning, they will start, probably they come in early and they cook, they attend the Mangalarati, they will stay in towards the end, they do cleaning, and they are so happy. Probably during the night time also they are there, but over a period of time, the next day, even if they go at 12 o'clock, they again will come at 4 o'clock early in the morning and they do continuous stuff. And he says that the movement is going on because of the new bhaktas. So one thing we should understand is that we should, over a period of time, we should also have an ornament which is called humility. So Daksha Prajapati shows us that humility is very much required in our life. And Srila Prabhupada, during one time, when he was staying alone in the US with one of his disciples, Srila Prabhupada was not keeping well. His health was deteriorated. And then he told his disciple, you please chant for me. You please bless me. And the disciple was like astonished. Prabhupada, how can you ask me to bless you? And sometimes when devotees used to go off for preaching, Srila Prabhupada will call all his disciples and say, you all bless him. And all the disciples will be laughing. How can we bless? Because Srila Prabhupada already blessed them. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, you're all Vaishnavas. So you can bless. Or probably if you look at the other instances, Prabhupada was having that inauguration, temple inauguration. Everything was going wrong, and Srila Prabhupada got angry, and one person went and told Srila Prabhupada, I think you should keep your calm and chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada immediately did, sir. So humility, Prabhupada always used to show. So there are different devotees who say that humility is not artificial, it is actually the symptom of the soul. Okay, so these are the different pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada used to say about one thing, okay? I will quickly want to finish now. I have 4 more minutes. During the time when Srila Prabhupada went to the West and he came back after all the preaching, first time he came back to Calcutta. So that point of time, we didn't have a place to stay. Srila Prabhupada said, I will come to Calcutta if you give me a place. If you have your own place, I will come. So he came from Japan and devotees arranged a big program. And all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada went to all his god brothers and said, our Srila Prabhupada is coming. Please come. Would you like to welcome him when he comes to the airport? And one devotee, he was actually a Gaudiya Math devotee, he is Puri Maharaj. Okay. He said yes, he is willing to come and welcome Srila Prabhupada. You know why? He has done something which nobody ever thought will be done. Worldwide the preaching movement went. Everything happened nicely. And the first time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions have become fruitful. Okay? Puri Maharaj said, I will come. But by the time when he was thinking like that, another Grihastha devotee, his disciple, came in and said, Puri Maharaj, how can you go and welcome him? Because you took initiation before Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. You took sannyasa before Abhay Prabhu, Babu, Swamiji. So how can you go? You can't go. Instead, he should be coming and seeing you. And if you read Srila His Honor Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, some of the early pastimes, he used to say, in Gaudiya Math, they have this, very strictly they follow the initiation dates. Suppose you are initiated in such and such date, you are supposed to sit there. If you are initiated later, you are supposed to sit in another place. So very strictly they follow that. And Srila Prabhupada told Tamal Krishna, Prabhupada became very angry. When he came, none of his god brothers were to receive him. Prabhupada said, later, he said, no, we are not going anywhere, we are going to our place. And he told Tamal Krishna Maharaj, because of the senior-junior complex, they could not cooperate to preach together. This was one reason why, even though Gaudiya Math had a lot of disciples who were amazing devotees, who were pure devotees of Krishna, wonderful devotees, excellent preachers. There were so many devotees who were actually, I would say, they were very, very advanced than Srila Prabhupada. But they were not able to preach to that level of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is saying, because of this junior-senior complex which they had. So, and we don't inherit all these, processes that has been enjoyed, or which has been there in Gaudiya Math. Before winding up, I just want to tell you about what is our connection between Lord Shiva as ISKCON devotees. You know this temple? Oh. Huh? What is this temple's connection with us? And what is Srila Prabhupada's connection with this temple in India? You know this pastime? Huh? Okay. Srila Prabhupada, so when, if you should understand, listen to His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj lectures. He says, when Gaur Govinda Maharaj is initially from Gaudiya, Gauda Desha, Orissa. So he came to ISKCON, he was actually not a senior devotee. Srila Prabhupada asked him, have you taken, first time he saw him, he said, have you taken sannyasa? He said, no. I will give you sannyasa. All the senior devotees of Prabhupada, they said, how can you give him sannyasa right now? He is new. This is not the right way, right? You should wait at least 1 year before giving initiation sannyasa. So Gaur Govinda Maharaj, when he met Prabhupada, he asked him a question. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying his manifested pastimes in where? Last final pastime? In Jagannath Puri. Why is that? And the entrance of Jagannath Puri is Bhubaneswar. Why is that, Srila Prabhupada, you are not having any temple in Bhubaneswar? And whenever Gaur Govinda Maharaj asked this question, Prabhupada didn't answer this. He kept quiet. One day, when he was in Vrindavan, he called and told Gaur Govinda Maharaj, you go to Odisha, you go to Bhubaneswar, and you start a temple. There is someone who has donated this land. Okay? And he again asked this question, but Prabhupada, why you are not? He didn't answer. And when he went back to Bhubaneswar and he started the construction, he met the landlords who donated this place. And they told him what was the reason why Srila Prabhupada was not interested to come to Bhubaneswar and Jagannath Puri. You know? Prabhupada became sulky because his disciples who were Vaishnavas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's real followers were not accepted in Jagannath Puri. Prabhupada became sulky. And he decided that I will not go to a place where my disciples are not respected. But then why did he again decided to come? He says in Bhubaneswar we have Lingaraj. Anybody from Bhubaneswar? Lingaraj is the protector of the Dham. Lord Shiva from Bhubaneswar came to Mayapur to Srila Prabhupada. He said, Swamiji, you should come to Bhubaneswar. And then Prabhupada, after this incident, called Gaurgonda Maharaj and said, you go and open a temple in Bhubaneswar. And it is a Krishna Balram, it's Krishna Balram temple in Bhubaneswar. Anybody visited ISKCON Bhubaneswar? Okay, is it Krishna Balram? Okay, it's Krishna Balram, that's what I read. And this is the connection. 108th temple of ISKCON is ISKCON Bhubaneswar. This is because Lord Shiva specifically came to Mayapur and requested Prabhupada, please come and open a temple. And this is mentioned in one of the lectures of His Holiness Gaurgonda Maharaj, who says this, that Prabhupada has told me specifically this. I think the time is up. We can go on tomorrow. Okay. Fine. So I thought we will finish and I have one more pastime which I want to say, the relationship between. You have seen Hamsa Vahana temple? Hope everyone has broken their fast. Is there anyone who has not broken their fast? Okay, Riksha. So with this 2 more minutes I'll take. Anybody heard about Hamsa Vahana temple? If you go do, No, it's in Navadvip Parikrama when you do, there is a temple called Hamsa Vahana temple. Only 3 days in a year that the temple deity will come and stay in this temple. Otherwise, it is already immersed in Gomati river because it's so heat, there is so much heat which is coming from this Hamsa Vahana. And who is Hamsa Vahana? It's Lord Shiva. Usually Hamsa Vahana is Lord Brahma, right? But this, when Shukadeva Goswami in Mayapur, he was reciting the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Shiva wanted to come. And he came till Brahmaloga, from Lord Shiva, from his Dham. Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu. So he came from Mahesh Dham. When he reached Satyaloka, he was coming his bull and he was feeling that, his bull is not fast enough. So he asked Lord Brahma, can we switch? He took the swan from Lord Brahma and he was coming fast. So in a year, 3 times the deity is brought and continuously devotees will come and pour Ganga Jal to cool him off. But there is something very interesting also which happens. If you have some desires, you put a flower there and you pour water onto that flower, the flower will either pop up and come to the hands of Pujari. If it comes to the hands of Pujari, then it means whatever you desired will happen. But for a long time, this incident happened in 1994. His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami Guru Maharaj, he was going along with so many devotees, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, everyone was there. They went there, but everyone is putting flowers and offering water, nothing is happening. And then devotees naturally, when they go there, they will chant and dance. Gauranga, Gauranga, there was dancing and chanting. So the Pujari, they thought, okay, let us call these ISKCON devotees. They said, okay, you come. So His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj went. And they said, okay, why don't you put flowers? So he put the flowers. And then you should desire something. And then when they poured water, the flower popped up and went into the hands of Pujari. And then devotees went and asked him, Guru Maharaj, what did you ask? What was your desire? He had 2 questions. He asked us, is ISKCON going the right direction? Then it was mentioned, yes. There is one more, I forgot, he wanted to become a pure devotee, something like that. He was a second desire. So we also have a long connection, long attachment, relationship with Lord Shiva. And we should understand that Lord Shiva is like a prince. Jiva Goswami says that the same respect you give to a king, we give the same respect to the prince also. And Lord Shiva is the prince and Lord Krishna is the king. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Vanchakalpadarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananda Kodi Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry, any questions, any additions, any clarifications? If nothing, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a nice, wonderful class. How we have to treat Vaishnavas, especially Lord Shiva, how we have to give respect. So, Prabhuji, we will chant one time to Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Vamsidhari Prabhu for giving us such a wonderful class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, few announcements. His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Narasimha Swami Maharaj is already arrived here and is on the way to the temple. So, Maharaj is the disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So, please take the advantage of by associating with Maharaj. Today, Maharaj will be having a class from the evening after the Sandhya Aarti, and every day there is a class here, 7:45 to like usually 9 o'clock. Except Tuesday and Wednesday, it will be in the Kano Garden Temple. So please, all the Shiksha Gurus have to inform to your Bhakti Raksha members to participate and take the blessings of Maharaj. Every day there is a class. हर दिन महाराज का क्लास रहता है. आज शाम से चालू है. So भक्ति वृक्षा लीडर से और जो लीडर से रिक्वेस्ट है सब आपका मेंबर्स को आने के लिए पार्टिसिपेट करके